Mathematics and Physics, sixth part. Today, the most important topic in trigonometry, and most of the students are afraid while applying these concepts, that is sines in trigonometric ratios. Here, I am going to take this as the origin of this xy axis. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is x dash, this is y dash axis. Here, the distances should be measured from origin. So we have to measure from origin. So this distance origin, this distance origin. So all the distances should be measured from origin. So condition, all distances are measured from origin. After that, the distances that are measured along OX are positive. So these are positive values. This is positive, this is positive. This distance is positive. Because we are measuring from O, this distance is positive. And this is also positive. But this distance will become negative. This is also will become negative. So along positive x-axis, along positive y-axis, the distances are positive. Along negative x-axis, along negative y-axis, distance measured are negative. Now first, I will write this one. Distances measured along OX, OY, that is O from X, O from Y. These are positive. But distances measured along OX dash, OY dash, these are negative. These are negative. When we are taking the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant, here we can see this is from origin to along positive x-axis. So we can write this as O. Let us say this is A, and from here, if you take another triangle here, another line, and which can be written as B. Now, the hypotenuse will be like this. This will be OB. Students, when we are writing this angle, let us say I am taking this angle here, theta, angle theta. In the first quadrant, this OA is along positive x-axis, AB is along positive y-axis. So this is x, this is y, this is x dash, this is y dash. So in this, it is clear that in the first quadrant, OA, this is base. So I call this as base. AB, I call this as perpendicular. And this is hypotenuse. Here, base is positive, perpendicular is also positive. So in the first quadrant, base, we denote this as B, perpendicular, P. These two are both positive. Both positive. Now if you want to write down sin theta cos to the tan theta, and please remember hypotenuse in any quadrant you take it as positive. So point that you have to remember here is hypotenuse in all quadrants should be considered as positive. Hypotenuse is always positive in any quadrant, irrespective of the quadrant. In all quadrants, hypotenuse is always positive. Now, if you want to write down, this is sine theta in the first quadrant. Sine theta is equal to opposite side, that is perpendicular by hypotenuse. We know perpendicular is positive, hypotenuse is always positive. So this is greater than 0. Cos theta is base by hypotenuse, that is b by h. H already positive, b is positive here. So this is this one. Now similarly tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side, that is perpendicular by base. Both b and p are positive. This is also positive. And the corresponding inverse ratio, that is sin theta can be written as 1 by sin theta can also be 1 by cosecant theta, or cosecant theta is equal to 1 by sin theta. When sin theta is positive, cosecant theta is also positive. Similarly, secant theta is equal to 1 by cos theta, this is also positive. And cot theta is equal to 1 by tan theta, this is also positive. So in the first quadrant, if you observe this one, all are positive. All trigonometric ratios, all are positive here. All trigonometric ratios, sine, cos, tan, cosecant, secant and cot, all are positive in first quadrant, this one. Now, we take the second quadrant now. In the second quadrant, if you take the base, in the second quadrant, this is the base, base is negative here, b is negative, but perpendicular is positive, perpendicular line p is positive. As I said earlier, the hypotenuse is always positive in any quadrant, hypotenuse is positive. Now from this we can write base under base b in the second quadrant is negative, this is negative, and perpendicular p is positive. From these two, now I am going to write down sine, cos and tan, cosecant, secant and cot. So first one, sine theta is equal to, here opposite side by hypotenuse, that is p by h, this is p by h. Students, here p is along positive y-axis, positive, p is positive and h is always positive, so it should be positive in the second quadrant. Cos theta is equal to base by hypotenuse, base is negative, so this is negative by positive is always negative, so cos is negative. Tan theta perpendicular by base, here perpendicular is positive but base is negative, so it should be negative, so only sine is positive here out of these three. Then cosecant, reciprocal of sine theta is also positive, it should be greater than 0. As sine is positive, cosecant must be positive. But secant theta will be less than 0, cot theta will be less than 0. That means both are negative. So what are the positives in the second quadrant? Sine theta and its reciprocal cosecant theta. So you can write the only values that are positive are sine theta and cosecant theta are positive in second quadrant. Now we will come to the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, it is clear that the base is negative, but the perpendicular is negative. Base already negative, perpendicular is negative, and this is the hypotenuse. Fourth quadrant, base is positive, perpendicular is negative. So now we will see the remaining two quadrants now. In this third quadrant, if you see the diagram, the third quadrant, you can write, this is the third quadrant. In this is the third quadrant. This is a base. This is base. This is perpendicular, and this is the hypotenuse. And if you take this theta in the third quadrant, if you take sine, first base is negative. Perpendicular is also negative in the third quadrant, both negative in third quadrant. Now sine theta will become sine theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. You can see perpendicular is negative because we are measuring this about or along the negative y-axis. This will be negative. Cos theta, if you take base by hypotenuse, base is also negative, so cos theta will be less than 0, negative. Then tan theta, perpendicular by base, perpendicular negative, base is also negative, negative by negative is always positive. So this is positive, and the corresponding reciprocals, cosecant theta will be negative, secant theta will be negative, cot theta should be positive. So in the third quadrant, what are positive values? In the third quadrant, tan theta and cot theta are positive. In the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. Here sin theta and its reciprocal cosecant theta are positive. Now we will see the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, I am writing fourth quadrant. So what are positive, what are negative, we will see first. For fourth quadrant, this is the base and this is the perpendicular, this is the hypotenuse. So already we have seen hypotenuse in all quadrants should be positive. So that's why here in the fourth one also this is positive. Now from this what we can write? In the fourth quadrant, base is positive, perpendicular is negative. From these two, we can write sin theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. This is P by H. P is negative, so this should be negative because hypotenuse is always positive. Then cos theta is equal to base by hypotenuse. Base is positive, so positive by positive, it should be positive. And tan theta is perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is negative and base is positive. This is negative, this is positive, so this must be negative. And the reciprocals of these, that is cosecant theta, secant theta, cot theta, this corresponding value should be negative, it should be positive, it should be negative. So from this we can write, students, even in the fourth quadrant, cos theta and its reciprocal secant theta are positive. So this is how we can remember this. All students take care. So I am writing again. Here all are positive. Here sin and its reciprocal are positive. Here tan and its reciprocal are positive. Here cos on positive. So we can write A, S, T, C. All students take care. First you will see the first quadrant. In the first quadrant of that coordinate system, we know all are positive. So from this we can write sine 90 minus theta cos 90 minus theta tan 90 minus theta. Similarly, cosecant 90 minus theta, secant 90 minus theta, cot 90 minus theta. These are the values. All these values will lie in the first quadrant. Whenever 90 is there, this sine will become cos. But students, this cos in the first quadrant is positive, or sine 90 minus theta, sine is also positive. Similarly, cos 90 minus theta will become sine 90 minus theta will become cos theta, and cos 90 minus theta will be sin theta. Tan 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta, and cot 90 minus theta is equal to tan theta. Cosecant 90 minus theta is equal to secant theta, and secant 90 minus theta is equal to cosecant theta. In the first quadrant, any value will become positive because all are positive here. All trigonometries are positive, so all are positive. But the problem lies in the second quadrant. When students are solving problems, in the second quadrant they are making mistake. Be careful. Who is positive or which trigonometries are positive in second quadrant? And please remember, sine and cosecant are positive. Other than this, all other quadrants are negative. All remaining four, that is cos, secant, cot and tan are negative in the second quadrant. So now I am writing sine 90 plus theta, cos 90 plus theta, tan 90 plus theta, cosecant 90 plus theta, secant 90 plus theta, cot 90 plus theta. These are the values that lies in the second quadrant if theta is less than 90. Suppose if 90 plus 100, this will go into the third quadrant. Here theta should be less than 90. For all these things, theta should be less than or equal to 90, then only they lies in the second quadrant. Sine, whenever 90 is there, this sine will become cos theta. But sine in the second quadrant is positive. You take it as positive only. Don't consider cos here. We are finding sine 90 plus theta. Sine 90 plus theta is cos theta. That is over. Now what is the sign for sine in the second quadrant? In the second quadrant, sine and cosecant are positive. So even though I got cos theta, but it will have a positive value here. Please remember this point. Now cos 90 plus theta will become sin theta. Tan 90 plus theta will become cot theta. Cosecant 90 plus theta is secant theta, and secant 90 plus theta is equal to cosecant theta. Cot 90 plus theta is equal to tan theta. So this part is over. Now we will see the signs here. Here cos 90 plus theta sin theta, that part is over, but the cos in the second quadrant is negative, so you should write this as negative here. Similarly, tan 90 plus theta cot theta, but in second quadrant only sin and cosecant are positive. Even the tan is also negative, so I am going to write negative here. Cosecant 90 plus theta, cosecant is positive, so cosecant 90 plus theta become secant theta, but here this value will be positive here. But what about secant 90 plus theta? Secant is negative, so secant 90 plus theta is cosecant, but while giving sign you take only this one, so which is equal to negative, because in second quadrant secant is negative, so I am giving this sign. But secant 90 plus theta, cosecant theta, that is different. Similarly here also cot is also negative. So these are the methods of giving signs, and always consider this to give the signs here, not the results that you are obtaining here. So next one, not only this one students, sin 90 plus theta, even sin 180 minus theta cos 180 minus theta tan 180 minus theta cosecant 180 minus theta secant 180 minus theta cot 180 minus theta. If it is sin 90 minus theta, it will become cos. Sin 90 plus theta cos, but 180, this is trigonometric ratio means same. So sin 180 minus theta is equal to sin theta. Cos 180 minus theta is also cos theta. Tan 180 minus theta, whenever 180 is there, this won't change. This remains as tan theta. This remains as cosecant theta. This remains as secant theta, and this remains as cot theta. Now we will see which are positive here, which are negative here. First one, sin in the second quadrant is positive, so this will become positive. Cos is negative, so this value will become minus cos theta. Tan is also negative because only sin is positive, that's why for sin we are keeping positive. And cosecant is also positive, that's why I am writing this plus cosecant theta. And remaining two, both secant and cot theta are negative because only sin and cosecant are positive in the second quadrant. See what happens to these values. So in the third quadrant, directly we can write, the diagram is not required, sin 180 plus theta. Once again, please remember theta less than or equal to 90. Similarly, cos 180 plus theta tan 180 plus theta cosecant 180 plus theta secant 180 plus theta cot 180 plus theta. So these are all the values which lies in third quadrant. Similarly, sin 270 minus theta cos 270 minus theta tan 270 minus theta cosecant 270 minus theta secant 270 minus theta. So these are all lies in the third quadrant only, and the condition is theta lies between 90 and 0. Then only this will become, these values, these ratios will come into the third quadrant. So as we said earlier, whenever we are subtracting an angle or adding an angle for 180, the sign won't change. Sin 180 plus theta will become sin theta only. This will become cos theta, tan theta, cosecant theta, secant theta, cot theta. But what are positives in the third quadrant? Already we have observed in the third quadrant, tan and cot are positive. So here in this list, what are positives? This will be positive, this will be positive, and remaining all are negative. This will be negative, 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 and negative. So only thing is positive value, only this will be positive, tan and cot will be positive. Now we will see what happens if for these ratios. Whenever 90 or 270 multiples of 90, then what happens? The ratio will change. The ratio will change here. Now we will get sin 270 minus theta will become cos theta, cos 270 minus theta will become sin theta, tan 270 theta will become cot theta, cosecant 270 theta will become secant theta, secant 270 minus theta will become cosecant theta, and cot 270 minus theta will become tan theta. But in the third quadrant, we are talking about third quadrant. In third quadrant, cot and tan are positive. So here, tan, this will become positive. Cot will be positive in the third quadrant. Only tan and cot are positive, and all other values will become negative. This is negative, 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 negative. This is the story about the third quadrant. Now we will see the fourth quadrant also. In the fourth quadrant, cos theta and secant theta are positive. Here tan theta and cot theta are positive. So now we are going to write the values in the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, sin 270 plus theta, cos 270 plus theta, tan 270 plus theta. And already we have seen this. Whenever this is a multiple of 90, this sign will become cos. This is cos theta, this is sin theta, this is cot theta. But while giving these signs, don't see this one, you see this. In the fourth quadrant, sign is negative, so this will become negative. Even though cos is positive, but we have to check only this one. In the fourth quadrant, cos is positive, so positive you keep positive here. And in the third, fourth quadrant, tan is also negative, so this will become negative. The next one, cosecant 270 plus theta, secant 270 plus theta, cot 270 plus theta. Once again, these are multiples of 90, the signs will change, the ratios will change. Cosecant will become secant theta, secant will become cosecant theta, and cot will become tan theta. But in this, already we know, tan, this cos and secant are positive, so here I can write directly positive here, but whereas the other two are negative. Problems, very simple problems. We know sin 30 directly we can write this as 1 by 2. From the trigonometric table, ratio table, we can write sin theta is equal to, or sin 30 is equal to 1 by 2. But here students, the sin 30 can also be written as a sin 90 minus 60 is sin 30, but sin 90, multiple of 90, that is 1 into 90, this will become cos 60, and sin 90 minus 60 is in first quadrant. In first quadrant all are positive, so this is also plus 1 by 2. This is how, that means sin 30 is equal to cos 60. Second one, tan 30 direct formula 1 by root 3, which can also be written as tan 90 minus 60. Tan 90 minus 60 will become cot 60, because whenever 90 is there, the ratio will change from tan to cot, and this is in first quadrant, so in first quadrant all are positive, and cos 60 is 1 by root 3, which is equal to tan 30. Secant 30, this is also, we can write secant 90 minus 60 degrees. Whenever 90 is there, secant will become cosecant, this will become cosecant 60, as it is in first quadrant. In first quadrant secant is positive, so cosecant 60 is 1 by sin 60, sin 60 root 3 by 2, that will become 2 by root 3. So these are the first three values, which are very easy to find because we can remember these values orally. But the thing is, when we are solving the remaining problems, sin 120 can be written as sin 180 minus 60 degrees. Sin 180 minus 60 is sin 60, but here I want sin 120, that is 180 minus 60 is 120 only. But sin, this is not a multiple of 90, so sine remains as sine only. Sine 180 minus theta is sine theta, and this is in second quadrant. In second quadrant, sine is positive, so this is sine 60, that is root 3 by 2. The second one, sine 150, sine 180 degrees minus 30 degrees will become sine 150. Sine 180 minus theta is sine theta, that is sine 30 only. But in the second quadrant, because 150 lies in the second quadrant, in second quadrant all are sine and cosecant are positive, so we are going to take this as positive, this is plus 1 by 2. Similarly, now we will go for the next one, that is third quadrant. In the third quadrant, the values will be like this. Tan 210 can be written as tan 180 plus 30 degrees, which can also be written as sine 270 minus 60 degrees, both are same, but it is easy because 180 is there, this tan ratio remains as tan only. Tan 180 plus theta is tan theta, that is tan 30 degrees, and this is in third quadrant. Tan in the third quadrant is positive, so this will become positive, this is plus 1 by root 3. And sine 240 can be written as sine 180 plus 60 will become sine 240. So sine 180 plus theta is sine theta. Here this is sine 60 degrees. But 180 plus theta means this is in third quadrant. This is 90. This is 90 and we are in third quadrant. 180 plus theta. This is in third quadrant. In third quadrant, tan and cot are positive. Sine is negative. So this will become minus sine theta. So the value will become now, this value will become minus root 3 by 2. The next one, if you see this one, students, whenever these problems are given, while solving problems, we have to take lot of care while writing these values. We have to take lot of care. See this one, sine 180 minus theta. This is sine 180 plus theta. This is sine 180 minus theta. That is in the fourth quadrant. These are all in the fourth quadrant. Sine 180 minus theta, cos of minus theta, tan of minus theta, cosecant of minus theta, secant of minus theta, and cot of minus theta. These are all in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. And we know in fourth quadrant cos and secant are positive. So this cos value will become cos theta only. Cos of minus theta is cos theta. And secant of minus theta is secant theta. Only these two are positive. All other quantities will become negative here. All of that is sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Tan of minus theta will become minus tan theta. Cosecant of minus theta minus cosecant theta. Cot of minus theta minus cot theta, because sine of minus theta means in fourth quadrant, sine theta means first quadrant, sine of minus theta is fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant we have very good idea that cos and secant are only positive. Two more problems. The first one, find the value of cos 210. Cos of 210 degrees, you can write this as, students, cos 180 plus 30 degrees is writing cos 210 in one method, and one more method, possible method is, this can also be written as cos of 270 minus 60 degrees. 270 minus 60 also 210. First we will see the first value. Both will give the same value only, but you can write 180 plus theta and 270 minus theta. But theta is different here. Cos of 180, when it is not a multiple of 90, the ratio remains same. This will become cos 180 plus theta is cos 30 degrees. But cos 180 plus theta, that is 210 degrees, is in third quadrant. In the third quadrant, only tan and cot are positive. So this must be negative. So cos minus of cos 30 minus cos 30 is root 3 by 2 is the answer for this one. Now if you take the other one, Cos 210 can also be written as cos 270 minus theta. Whenever it is a multiple of 90, cos will become sin and 270 minus theta will become sin 60. But cos 210 is in third quadrant, which is negative, so you will get a negative here. This will become minus root 3 by 2. That means both times we are getting the same answer. That means the method is slightly different, but the answer remains same. Similarly, if you take cot 120 can be written as cot 180 minus 60 is 1. Second one, cot 90 plus 30 is also equal to 120. So first we will see the first one. Cot 180. 180 is not a multiple of 90. The actual 90 into 2 only. But here 180 minus theta will become, it remains as 1. If it is 180, the cot remains as cot 60 degrees. But in the 180 minus, that is 120 degrees in the second quadrant. In second quadrant only sine and cosecant are positive. This must be negative. So this is minus cos 60, which is equal to minus tan 30. This is equal to 1 by root 3. Cot 90 plus theta, multiple of 90, actually odd multiple of 90. This is also multiple of 90 only. This is even multiple. For even multiple of 90 degrees, I am repeating, for even multiple of 90 degrees, cot or sine or cosecant or secant ratio remains same. But this is odd multiple, that is 1 into 90, 3 into 90, 5 into 90. These are odd multiples of 90. Then cot will change to tan. So this will become tan 90 plus 30, this is tan 30 in the second quadrant, 120 degrees is in second quadrant, cot is negative, you can take this as negative, minus 1 by root 3.